Okay, Strange Darling, guys. Let me read the plot real quick for you guys. Nothing is what it seems when a twisted one-night stand spirals into a serial killer's vicious murder spree. So, what did you guys think about this movie?
I liked it, but I saw it once before I knew we were reviewing it, and multiple people I knew were like, "Oh, it's the movie of the year for me," and I did not feel that at all.
It's hard not to be affected when someone says that.
I was like, well, it was after I saw it, and I was still like, what are they watching?
Yeah.
But so then I went and saw it again, and maybe liked it like a little bit more the second time, but I did it different this time. I just wrote like a small list of like the thumbs up things and thumbs down things while I was watching it.
Okay.
To see if like it changed my mind
Let's
that
hear
much.
some of them.
But like, so the 35 millimeter looked great.
It did.
The sound was great. Great acting. The hippie couple ruled. Had Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes. Love that.
Well, at the beginning.
Well, like just how it was set up.
And yeah, the first, I'd say 5 minutes or so.
And then the frozen meat in the yard, like clue to where she was I thought was a cool touch.
It was very smart.
Then like just quotes from the guy character I thought were hilarious. Like I don't like that, like when she was talking about like violent sex and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like when she bit him was gnarly.
It was, yeah.
But then Out of Order, I don't like I don't
You don't
dislike
care
that
for
in all
that
movies.
storytelling?
No, in this movie, I felt like that gave it away to me right away. Like right away, that because it was out of order, I knew she was the bad guy.
How did you figure that out? When did you figure that out?
Because it was out of order, and it started with him like making him look like sketchy dudes or predators.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was out of order, I was like, it's gonna switch to where she's the bad guy.
I had a feeling something was up as well. I didn't know that for sure.
No,
but
I thought
had
like
I had an
immediately I
inkling.
thought that, and then unlikable characters. Like I didn't really like any of the characters except for the hippies. The digits conversation, I did not like. She's like, nobody uses like digits anymore. It's all about the IG.
The
Like it felt
gram,
very
yeah.
forced. Like
Right. No, you're right about the characters. I will add on that.
The
but
amount-
I did not care for
the amount of
characters.
cigarettes smoked was ridiculous. Stopping to pour alcohol on her ear wound would have been the last thing in my mind. Like, you're on the run from a killer who's like right behind you. Why would you stop? Take the bandage off and then pour booze on your open wound. Just leave it bandaged and run.
I think she was very concerned about disinfecting it, possibly.
Yeah, but like that would be the last thing on my mind
Yeah,
from running from a dude with a gun.
Right.
She's pretty unstable and a psychotic
Yeah.
maniac.
Well, yeah,
So,
and I hate how
true.
hysterical she acts because like she's a serial killer. She should be able to like be like, oh, maybe somebody's gonna be mad at me that I'm trying to serial kill them. Like she is so like
What do you mean?
over the top, hysterical, crazy that like somebody is now like trying to get back, like kill her. Like you think you'd be a little bit more cool-headed if you're literally a serial killer who has done this a
Well, he
bunch
had
of
a
times.
shotgun and she
Well, I
had,
think, and
He didn't have a shotgun at first. All he had was a pistol, and he was drugged on ketamine.
I don't think you can judge her mental state or what,
Well, yeah,
how she acts
I just
because
didn't-
she's a serial
Well, yeah,
killer.
but
she's out of touch with reality, and at the end of the day. so.
Like I didn't like. She was very condescending, but like understanding at the same time. Like every time she interacted with people, it was awkward. Why did he run towards the bear mace?
Did he?
Yeah, she was locked up in the freezer. She bear maced him, and instead of just walking out of the room, he lunged at her while she's bear
he was
macing
blinded
him.
by bear mace.
And
I mean,
that's how she got out. She bit him on the neck and then escaped.
Yeah.
Like, no, have you ever been hit by bear mace? Trust me, you're not walking towards it.
I understand, but it's for
Well,
the sake of the movie
he
and plot.
was all coked up, and
And then I hated that she like pulled down her pants to act like she got raped. And then the female cop, as soon as she got in there, was like, "Oh, she's the victim." Like,
I thought that was great.
well, yeah, that's
That's
the
how
way
it would
would
go.
right?
Yeah, that's very real.
That's how it would go.
And the guy was like, I thought that was like cool. The guy was like, no, we don't even know if she's the victim
Yeah.
yet. Like that was like a rare, like, well-written scene in like a thriller movie where they both wouldn't just be like, oh, we gotta
Oh,
fix
yeah.
her.
Yeah,
The
we
guy
gotta
was like,
help her.
whoa, hey,
Fixer's crazy.
fix her. Yeah.
Help her.
Healer,
but yeah,
paramedic.
so like upon like once, because I saw it twice. Did either of you see it twice or
I
no?
did.
I watched it
So,
once
like-
again this morning. Yeah.
The first time you saw it, you don't realize like
I'm sorry. I will say something funny. When I watched it twice, there was literally a cartoon ad because I was second time watching it at home, like illegally, and there was like a cartoon football ad like over the movie, and it was I'm like, wow.
Doesn't make a great
Yeah.
viewing
So like
experience.
Right.
she gives him a look in the hotel room that the first time you watch a movie, like you don't even really notice it that much. And then the second time viewing it, you're like, because she later in the movie does it when she sees like people as demons. She like gets that look on her face, and she gets that look on her face in the hotel before she like flips a switch and gets mean with him. But like if you don't really know what that look is the first time seeing it, but when you watch it the second time, you're like, oh, like now that's what's going on in her head.
Yeah.
As she's seeing him as a demon.
She's crazy.
I like movies that have that like rewatchability
Yeah.
where you're like, I can go back and see other stuff.
Their breakfast,
Yeah, it was
real
wild.
breakfast of champions.
Crazy, pure sugar bowl.
Man, that
The cocaine,
breakfast,
like the
man.
cocaine mouth movements she was doing the whole time freaked me out. I didn't like it one bit.
I love it.
How she was just like,
Yeah,
The whole
Her
time?
ear was off and she was on coked up. So I was like, ah.
and then I want to know why they chose like the name the Electric Lady for her, because it doesn't seem to like connect to the crimes she was committing.
Yeah.
So I want to know why that
Unless
was a
she
serial
carves
killer name.
EL into all of them.
Well, yeah, but I mean, why is that her name? That's what I want to know. And then this is just about all movies, not just this movie. I hate how much they move steering wheels while they're driving in movies.
They do,
Like
don't
when
they?
that lady picks her up at the
Even-
end, they're
even
driving
going
on a straight
straight,
road, and
yeah.
she's just like the whole time.
That is funny, yeah. I do have some notes too, like you. I'll write some. I'll. give
There's
you-
comedians that talk about that when they're like pantomiming stuff. They're
Yeah.
like, why am I moving it so
Yes.
much? And you just,
right.
but it's just what you do to show driving.
Yeah. So it starts with chapter 3. So
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about how it's told. Non-linear storytelling. I think it works in this movie. It's very unique. You know, it starts with chapter 3, goes to 5, 1, 4, 2, and then finally 6.
I thought personally that was like such a good way to put the movie together for me. Because I thought like it lined up perfectly with keeping you kind of confused.
Keeping you guessing. Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
But then like you know she's a psycho because like you do see her stab the lady, but then you still don't know if he's a killer or not. Because in another chapter, you're like, it shows he's the cop finally, and you're like, so are they both just, is this a game or?
yeah.
Because Kate said that after she stabbed the lady.
She said what?
She said, is this part of their sick game? Are they both crazy? And I was
Right.
like, oh yeah, she still doesn't know if the guy's a killer or not.
I don't think I ever. Well, after it was revealed that she was the killer, I don't think I ever thought that the guy was a killer too. I just thought he was a normal guy stuck in this terrible situation. Honestly, I'd have been crazy if it was both of them though.
But you initially said it shows super early on that she's the killer. So
Yeah.
I paid attention, and it doesn't. Like it shows.
No, it doesn't.
It shows the guy dead in the house.
Yeah.
In like chapter 2 or whatever, the second part
Yeah.
they show, but it doesn't show her kill him.
Oh,
The guy's
that's
walking
it.
through the house with a gun, and it just shows the dead. So you assume he killed him.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't though.
No, but the thing is, from what I remember, doesn't he look at the dead body and like kind of confused?
Yeah.
Right.
No, he walks past it. Like he's not even like concerned with
Phased?
it. Yeah, I just watched it this morning. He just looks at it for a second. And
Interesting. Yeah, I guess we don't learn that she's the killer until like the 4th or 5th chapter in. And interesting storytelling technique, you know. It starts us with many questions, and I think it builds on that, and it keeps you guessing, you know, with that technique, as opposed to just. I think the plot isn't that special if it was told linear, but the way it's told is what sets it apart.
Obviously,
I
yeah.
believe. Yeah.
And like the twist or whatever. It's
Yeah.
not even like one of my favorite parts of the movie, honestly. Like the way it's told and the acting and the way it's shot, and the acting for me is like the best. Like she's so good in that movie.
She is
She's
great.
out of her mind.
Yeah.
I did say I can't help but picture Mia Goth playing that role.
Same, 100%. I think she was just channeling Mia Goth. And there seems to be, we're getting more and more female leads that are just very unhinged.
Well, I
Yeah.
feel like that is an
Performances, you know what I mean?
untapped resource of horror. Like horror becoming more mainstream is making people realize like it's a chance for women to like have stellar performances
Yes.
because they're
Either-
almost always the victim.
Either as the heroine or as the
Well, 'cause-
crazy.
Yeah, they're almost always like some sort of victim, and it gives them a chance to like
Which is cool. 'cause
take
it's
the main role.
flipped it on
like,
its head, and the
yeah.
cop still thought she was a victim. He was like, oh, she's obviously was assaulted. We got to get her out of here.
Yeah.
And I like when she did pull the gun on the cops, the one male cop's like, you stupid bitch. Like,
You dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You just had to give her the
'Cause that was-
benefit of the doubt.
his buddy, that he called him to like come.
Yes. Yeah, because he's
He's
a
like,
cop.
obviously we can't trust her. My friend is dead. Like,
Because what happened was the woman gave her the benefit of the doubt. She's biased because she's a woman.
Immediately.
So, you know, that's what happens. Home cooking. But you know what shot was really cool, I thought, was there was a 3-minute shot with no cuts when he's walking through the house looking for her. I love that. I love You know, I love long sequences with no cuts. What I thought was interesting is that we're thrown in head first. Like, there's no real build up. We're just thrown right into chapter 3, kind of
Her
like
running.
the exciting part of it, and that was pretty cool. And then we're given the build up later on.
Mhm.
Then in chapter 1, we're given some context, but not all of the context. So yeah, you know what leads us to believe that Kyle Gallner's the serial killer is because obviously him chasing her, and then she asks him in another chapter, "Are you a serial killer?" So we're led to believe that, oh, this guy's, yeah, definitely the serial killer.
Well, she says, "Are you a serial killer?" He says, and then it just shows him choking.
Yes.
That was like her weird sex stuff she wanted
Yeah.
done, like rough sex.
She's a freak, you know.
So that was placed in there too to like throw you off. which-
She just loves to gaslight.
yeah.
She's just a gaslighter,
Yeah.
like a pro gaslighter. I've met broads like that.
Oh, in personal now.
Oh. Ah, right. You know what makes her a freak is she can only like get off if someone is like raping her, basically.
That's what she leads him to believe.
Yeah.
But she never actually lets him.
Do anything.
Yeah.
She just gaslights. Oh yeah, the breakfast though. That breakfast was excessive as hell, wasn't it? It's crazy.
What do you think your guys' favorite part is?
Of the movie or the breakfast?
Either one.
The hippies are in my opinion, the funniest part of the
Hippies
movie.
are great.
They are funny, man. Think a Squatch did the hippies think a Squatch did that to her.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
don't,
you asked her.
they don't go that deep into the woods.
Are you sure it wasn't a Squatch?
Squatch can't drive no pickup truck. Oh man. That's their Sunday breakfast, they said.
Sausages were a little well done for my liking, but if you
They didn't
cover them
even-
in that much stuff,
Didn't
I
even
guess-
matter in the end. Yeah, it was just so much sugar.
I think we realize that she's up to no good when she says she doesn't want any cops. I think that's probably the first
Yeah, you immediately you're like,
inkling we got that something's up. And she's way too cool after murdering that man. No, I mean, like, yeah, she's just way too cool after murdering the hippie man. And, yeah.
I thought it was a cool. In the end, when the hippie chick runs back up, like she killed us.
Yeah.
She just gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
She
lord.
sees her. Yeah.
And then there's an awesome shot of above the cop car. Where you just hear the gun go off and blood spraying the windshield.
Yeah.
Shoots the dude.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it? Yep, you see it on the windshield.
I do like when she's carving it. Shows the minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5. So like 12 minutes of carving into someone's chest.
That
is
was gnarly.
wild.
Yep. There were some cool stylistic choices in this movie. I think above all else, the stylistic choices stick out. Not so much like the plot or even decent dialogue and the writing's good, but like above all else, the stylistic choices stick out. You know what her run reminded me of when she was running? No, I mean, not the one at the beginning, but her run when she's running
From the hotel?
from the hotel looked exactly like Shelley Duvall in The Shining. I swear to God,
I can see
rewatch
that.
it.
She's just flailing. kinda.
Rewatch it, and you'll be like, "That's Shelley Duvall's spaghetti arms."
Poor Shelley gets spaghetti arms now. Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. She was a legend. How impressive was it for her to pull his body across the floor like that? Because you could tell she did that for real.
Yeah,
That's what it looked
was
like.
more realistic than a normal movie too. She was struggling like.
Yeah, because she was really doing it.
Yeah.
I don't think they faked that. At least I'd be some crazy movie magic if they did. Yeah, but I mean, overall, Willa Fitzgerald, she plays the, what's her name, protagonist? And
Electric Lady.
yeah, she's great. The
Great.
cinematography is good. Like I said, nothing too special about the plot, I don't think, but the way it was told was unique, very original. Tarantino-esque. Tarantino's like made that chapter stuff like kind of more popular and famous, and I think a lot of people are.
It's got to be tough for new
adopting
directors,
that
like
style.
'cause everyone's gonna just be like, "You're doing Tarantino."
Yeah.
Even if it's their own idea.
Seriously, that's Tarantino's thing. Just leave it. You know what I mean?
No one else can do it.
But it was a wise storytelling technique to build suspense and tension. You know what I mean? It's like a puzzle, but you know what I mean? Like that you're putting together as it goes along.
I like 'cause I didn't think anything was like a unrealistic decision by any of the people, or anything was like you're like, no way. It was all just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, and the dialogue was good, and like was really how people would react. Like we said, the cops.
Yeah.
Like she would immediately be like, oh my god.
I think it could have served them better to establish Gallner's character a little bit more. I think he was kind of... We didn't know much about him. I didn't know much about him. He's a cop, and what else?
I don't think that was necessary, though. There's no need.
I think it would have just...
Because they don't want you to show him like being a good guy when they want you to believe he's a killer.
Yeah, but no, I think, like Shaw said, we didn't really... Shaw nor I liked the characters that much.
I didn't like him either, but...
Yeah, I think if you would have humanized him more, given him more stuff, maybe like just a 10-minute scene, maybe with his like wife or something, and then we would have cared more.
It was more like a revenge thing for me. I was like, just please get her because of what she did.
Yeah, but I mean, even though we're rooting for him, it's like you don't really like him, so like it's harder to root harder. It was harder for me, if that makes sense. I'm like,
I've seen some revenge movies where like the person is not likable, but I want them to get revenge just because like what happened to them is so terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible. Yeah. So there were a few slow scenes too. Like I think it dragged a little bit in the bedroom scenes and.
So yeah, some of that could have been tightened up.
Or the bedroom scene
in the car.
and in the truck. Yeah, and that I think that was a bit slow for me. Overall, it was decent. It didn't blow me away in any regard. But anything else you guys want to add to it? I mean, we can get to ratings. I gave it a 6.5.
I gave it an 8.
I gave it a 7.5.
Okay. Would you guys say watch this ASAP, watch it whenever, or skip it?
I was on the border of giving it an 8.5 because I thought it was great, but I gave it an 8. But I think watch it ASAP. Yeah, I think it's just a super well-made, new thriller that's like it's like rare to see movies that well acted and put together and so forth. I think.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I would say watch it whenever.
Yeah, whenever.
You say whenever? We're gonna say this one.
F you guys.
We're gonna say watch this one whenever.
I usually say watch it ASAP if somebody can watch it for free.
That's fair. I think. Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, it's probably streaming very soon if it's not already.
I watch it for free on Fire Stick.
But yeah, that's it, guys. That's our review for Strange Darling. Thank you for watching, and we're filming in front of a motel because a lot of the movie takes place in a motel room. So that's why we're filming in front of
Laying it on pretty thick now. You're not even gonna let the viewer get out themselves.
Right. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one later.